adulation that your husband gets. So, especially in your elder years, younger years, did it fill you with a sense of pride that you may be the inspiration behind it, or did it make you feel insecure? How was it? Thank you.
I didn't believe for a moment that I was an inspiration. That's just a witty sentence to say at all. But I was just brought up with so much love, both from my parents, that I grew up a very secure and happy child.
आपने पूछा कि ये धीमी आंच में और ज़्यादा भड़कती हुई आग में जो शायरी है उसे पहचाने कैसे? आप पहचान लेंगे। आप बांसुरी में और सेक्सोफोन की आवाज़ में फ़र्क महसूस कर लेती हैं।
क्या बात है?
दोनों साथ हैं और दोनों बहुत अच्छे साथ हैं। बस फिर क्या है?
I think I'd like to answer, since this is a poetic gathering, I'd like to answer your question with a poem. But I'll have to open my phone and then I'll read it out. It's a poem I wrote on translation in English. And I think that will answer your question. It certainly helped answer some of mine. I just have to find it. Give me a moment, because this phone is now starting. I can't do better than to read that out, because I thought about what you were saying. Every translator, I think, has to. And if I can find it, this is what came to me.
Meanwhile, आप एक क्वेश्चन कर लीजिए तो ये जल्दी ढूंढने में नर्वस नहीं होंगे। He'll take his own time.
Hello. I am very nervous right now to ask you or even talk to you. But I have been observing you for a long time, and both of you, Javed Sahab and Shabana ma'am, I would say, both of you being from the same legacy, living together for so many years, has poetry somehow helped in your relationship, or somehow like कुछ होते हैं ना ऐसे दिन कि हमारे दिन ठीक नहीं जाते हैं. On those days, has poetry helped you better as a couple?
Well, the answer is yes and no. I'll tell you why. Not that when Shabana was worried about where she has lost her keys, I started reading a poem. It didn't happen. Or when I was nervous that the song that I had to write, I have not, and I have to give the song in the evening, she had recited a poem. No. But the fact is that since you are influenced by same sources, then you develop same values, same morality, same what you call sanskar, and that helps. If you and your partner have basic values are the same, then life becomes easy. You will differ every day, that's for sure. कोई बेकार की बातों पे आपकी ओपिनियन हमेशा होगी. ख़ासतौर से हम एक घर बना रहे थे तो वी हैड ऑलमोस्ट रीच डिवोर्स, तो समहाउ वी केम बैक. तो वो जो घर में है कि भाई वॉल का क्या कलर हो, सोफ़ा कहाँ रखा हो, फ्लोर में कौन सा पत्थर लगना चाहिए, ये बहुत सीरियस इश्यूज हैं और ये मतलब दे कैन डैमेज एनी रिलेशनशिप. तो वो ज़रूर है, लेकिन ये कि जहाँ तक जब तक आपकी बेसिक वैल्यूज़ कॉमन हैं तो आई थिंक एवरीथिंग कैन बी एब्जॉर्ब्ड.
Are you still interested in the answer?
Yes, we all are.
So this is something that happened because Javed Sahab and I had a morning of Urdu poems by him and translations of his poems by me. And so this poem came as a result of that experience. And it's really about my attitude to translation. Do your poems feel stripped of their essence when I dress them in my words? Or instead do they, like migratory birds, take flight, travel day and night to nest elsewhere, and live for a while under a different dispensation, in a different style?
Beautiful.
Does the slant of the sun there touch them with the same warmth? Does the change in weather make them puff up their feathers and strut about and sing? Do their voices soar above the din? And does the occasional bird lover thrill to find them trilling in their midst? Or do they only please the ornithologist? Who can know? Who can say? Some reach where they want to go, others perish along the way. Those who survive seem to do so happily. But then one day, these birds, unlike words, miss their homeland and fly away. Translations, on the other hand, stay.
Beautiful. It is absolutely stunning, Sumantra. Beautiful.
So that's what I think about translation.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Can we invite the last question?
I am Sandeep. Shabana ji, it's a guarantee that I will not get another opportunity, so I'm going to ask for something a bit too much, a bit out of place. मुजफ्फर अली की फिल्म अंजुमन, शहरयार के गीत, you sang 4 beautiful songs, खयाम साहब का संगीत. If you could sing one of them.
उससे ज्यादा टेरिफाइंग बात आप मुझसे कह नहीं सकते थे. अभी मैंने एक माहौल बनाया, एक समा बनाया. ये लोग मुझसे काफी खुश हैं. मैं नहीं चाहती हूँ कि वो लोग रोते हुए जाएं, तो प्लीज आप मुझे माफ कर दें.
अच्छा ठीक, प्रोज में. Thank you.
Okay, just the last question, yours. Okay.
No, why last question? There are people who want to ask
no,
questions.
I don't
उनको
even
रहने दो.
question
Of course, they're dying to ask questions.
Javed sab said.
गुड मॉर्निंग जावेद सर. गुड मॉर्निंग मैम. सर रिसेंटली मैंने उर्दू में लिखना और पढ़ना चालू किया है.
बहुत खूब.
तो
ने चालू मत कीजिए, शुरू कीजिए.
शुरू किया है. तो एज फर्स्टली सर सेड कि मतलब उर्दू पोइट्री एंड उर्दू लिटरेचर, मतलब सर वो तो कभी होगा नहीं सर. आपकी इजाज़त होगी तो मैं आपको कुछ सुनाना, एकदम छोटा सा शेर आपका, उसमें फीडबैक लेना चाहूँगा.
मैं दे दूंगा.
चलेगा सर, एकदम सच बोलिएगा.
ओके.
कुछ अल्फाज है, इरशाद करने की इजाज़त दीजिए. सुना है तकलीफ तो बहुत है आपको, तकल्लुफ हमसे बात कीजिए. हम खुले बाजार में ना जता पाए तो क्या, एक लम्हा करके बस जिंदगी भर इस शायर का साथ दीजिए. दिल लगा के दिल के दरबार पर आके यूं फरमाइश तो कीजिए. आपके मन में हमारे लिए क्या है, हमें पेश तो कीजिए. आप तारों के शौकीन हैं तो हम आपके लिए चांद ले आएंगे. आप मुस्कुराकर एक बार ख्वाहिश तो कीजिए.
Very sweet. Very sweet.
देखिए, इससे मुझे पता चला कि आप बहुत शौक भी है आपको लिखने का, और आप में इमोशन भी है, पैशन भी है. लेकिन मैं आपको ये राय दूंगा, और सिर्फ आपको नहीं, मैं सारी आपकी उम्र के बच्चों को ये राय देता हूँ कि यू नीड सम इनटेक बिफोर द आउटपुट. आप पहले पोइट्री पढ़िए और कई साल तक पोइट्री पढ़ते रहिए. हर तरह की बड़े बड़े पोइट जो पैदा हुए दुनिया में, जिन्होंने अपनी पोइट्री, आप वहाँ से मत शुरू कर दीजिए गालिब से. जैसे अगर मैं इंग्लिश सीखना चाहूँ, आई कांट स्टार्ट विद शेक्सपियर, तो मैं तो कुछ समझ में नहीं आएगा मेरे. आप कंटेम्प्रेरी यंग पोइट जो है, या 20th सेंचुरी, लेट 20th सेंचुरी के जो पोइट्स हैं, जो सिंपल लैंग्वेज में लिखते हैं, इट्स नॉट वेरी चेस्ट हैवी लैंग्वेज, उनकी शायरी पढ़िए.
आप अपनी ही बात बताएं.
जी.
आप यंग उम्र में आपने कितने कलाम मेमोराइज कर दिए थे?
सर वो दूसरा ज़माना था, अब दूसरा ज़माना है. अभी ज़िंदगी बहुत तेज़ चल रही है, तब ज़रा आहिस्ता चलती थी. तो आप बहुत पढ़िए. दैट विल टीच यू 2 थिंग्स: यूसेज ऑफ वर्ड्स, मीटरिंग, वेटेज, फोनेटिक्स. ये सब धीरे धीरे जो अच्छे पोइट्स को आप पढ़ते रहेंगे तो आपको पता चले. यू डेफिनेटली हैव लॉट ऑफ पैशन, आई कैन सी दैट, बट यू हैव येट टू लर्न समथिंग अबाउट द टेक्निक ऑल्सो, craft.
Thank you sir. Thank you sir.
But congratulations for trying.
Thank you.
I'm doing that. Nobody's even looking this side.
May I request you to share one compliment your parents gave you each, which stayed with you? Something which जो आपके वालिदैन ने आपके बारे में कहा, respective or which really made you feel so happy. Something very personal. Generally अपनी तारीफ में कोई बताना नहीं चाहता ये बात, but बहुत इच्छा है कि आपके मुंह से सुनूं. Something which your parents have told, genuinely complimented you about.
I can't remember.
देखिए, My mother died the day I became 8, next day she died. But I know a lot about her and what she felt for me and what was her opinion and so on and so forth, which is very flattering. Because the letters that she had written to her husband, my father, are many and they are published in a form of 2 books. इसलिए कि they were married for 9 years and in those 9 years most of the time they were not together because of one reason or the other. They were in different cities. So every day she used to write a letter to him. उसमें जाहिर है कि बच्चों का भी बहुत जिक्र होता था besides so many other things. तो उसमें जो है मतलब जो भी उन्होंने मेरे बारे में लिखा है वो एक्सेप्शनली फ्लैटरिंग है. तो अब वो सुनाने में मुझे शर्म आएगी लेकिन आपने क्योंकि इंसिस्ट किया है तो बहुत ही रिलेक्टेंटली मैं आपको बता देता हूँ कि very reluctantly.
Because I think it's such a special moment for a child to be appreciated by their parent and it's a very personal thing. इस बारे में कोई generally बात नहीं करते इसलिए बहुत humbly आपसे request.
नहीं मैंने मेरी भी humility मुझे इजाज़त नहीं दे रही है since you are insisting. That she had written, or perhaps I was 5 years old when she wrote that I was reciting poetry to some girls, my students, जिसमें एक word का repetition था, and he said that he was sitting there, 5 years old child, and he said this poem resembles my father's poem where he said jaga kalam, jagi kitab, jaga this, jaga that. This sounds exactly like that. But she said that a 5-year-old child could notice this, and so many people tell me that he is exceptionally intelligent. I don't know whether they really mean it or they are just trying to make me happy. But I think they meant it.
No, but why don't you also say the ulat? When she said कि बहुत सारी बातें बनाता अमल में बिल्कुल.
हाँ ये भी उन्होंने अपने दोस्त को लिखा कि जादू के बारे में बता दूं कि बहुत बातूनी है, बेहद बातें करता है लेकिन प्रैक्टिकल बिल्कुल नहीं है.
प्रैक्टिकल बिल्कुल नहीं, प्रैक्टिकल में सिफर
है ये लिखो. तो ये बात लिखी थी 6-7 साल की उम्र है लेकिन वो आज तक सही है. मगर जो सबसे मेरी बात सही, मेरी आंट जिन्होंने मुझे पाला आफ्टर द 8 years, उन्होंने मुझसे हमेशा कहती थी बेटा तुम जिंदगी में कुछ नहीं करोगे सिर्फ बातें बनाओगे. एंड शी वाज सो राइट. Whether writing a song or writing dialogue or
उन बातों का असर इतना है कि आप उसका जादू आज भी देख रहे हैं.
अब ये मेरी आंट रही नहीं वरना मैं जाके बताता हूँ. आप कुछ पूछ रही थी.
शबाना जी
प्लीज इनको दे.
आपका कॉम्प्लीमेंट.
वो उन्हें याद नहीं है. अरे उन्हें मेरे कॉम्प्लीमेंट नहीं याद रहते, अपने पेरेंट्स के कहाँ याद रहेंगे. वो तो अभी होते हैं. जी.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. My question to you is, my first understanding is, you are the common person's poet. हम लोगों ने आपसे सीखा है कि poetry क्या हो सकता है हिंदी. My Hindi is bad, but still we still love it. Even today I didn't understand many things, but yet I appreciate it. But personally, sir, how do you relate yourself as a poet, as a daughter's father, as a son's father, as a lover's or a spouse's husband, or as your parents' child? As a poet, what is your first take? What's the role that comes prominent to you?
It's a very tragic story, but I'll tell you. You know, when I was in my school or college, in school when I was in Lucknow, everybody say, आपको मालूम है ये मजाज का नबी है. So Majaz was the star that time. The Majaz का नबी. Then I came to Bhopal, did my college from there. That was the place where my father had taught for some years, and he had a lot of fans. ये जावेद अख्तर के बेटे हैं. चलिए साहब वहाँ से मैं निकला आया, बड़ी पिक्चर शोले दीवार सब लिखी. अब जनाब शबाना जी मेरी लाइफ में आ गई. अरे भाई वो देखिए वो शबाना आजमी का हस्बैंड है. इससे फिर मैं निकला, मैंने बहुत सुपरहिट गाने लिखे और फिर अपना कुछ नाम बनाया था कि अब ये हो गया है जोयान फरहान फादर. तो मेरी तो सारी ज़िंदगी इसमें ट्रेजेडी में कटी, क्या बताऊँगा. अभी मैं होता हूँ एयरपोर्ट पे तो 3-4 या होटल लॉबी में तो 3-4-5 अर्ली 20s और लेट टीन में लड़कियाँ भागती हुई मेरे पास एक्साइटेड आती हैं. तो आई फॉर अ सेकेंड आई फील कि नहीं अभी भी ऐसा नहीं है कि सब खत्म हो गया है. तो जैसे आप फरहान से कितना रिजेंबल करते हैं. You look exactly like Farhan. तो मैं कहता हूँ बेटा तुम तो अभी बोल रही हो, मैं तो 4 साल का था तब से लोग ये कह रहे हैं, बिल्कुल फरहान जैसा लगता है.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Young lady in black over there.
Yeah. That's me. Where is the mic? How do I encourage young kids, like 7, 8-year-olds, to love poetry, fall in love with poetry? Small kids.
Children don't do what you tell them to do. They do what you do. You start loving poetry. You read poetry. You go to Kavi Sammelans and Mushawaras. You invite poets and listen to their poetry. You elders of the family. The children get interested.
So true. Thank you.
Yes, that girl in the green, please.
Adab, I bring best wishes from Bangladesh, and it is a feast for me to see this beautiful discussion and listen to the beautiful poem. I remember Shabana ji coming to Bangladesh and she read Ek Chithi Pyar Bhi. And today, both of you and all of you have stirred my soul, swept my heart, and I bring best wishes, and that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you so
very
so
much.
much.
And please convey our love to Bangladesh.
But
also.
I must tell you one thing. Please sit down. That Shabana's father and my father were two poets who wrote powerful poems when Bangladesh became a reality. And in the honor of that new nation, one poem was from her father and another was from my father. And these poems are in this selection, Bangladesh. There.
Thank you very much. Gee, now we have to, the gentleman in the blue, yeah.
ये सिंहासन तो कुछ सालों में खाली हो जाएगा, हालांकि हमारे आपकी सेहत के लिए बहुत दुआ है. तो आप लोग कुछ ऐसा कर रहे हैं कि ये आगे जो पीढ़ी है उसको कुछ आप तराश रहे हैं, कुछ लोगों को आप अपने छत्र छाया में लेके काम कर रहे हैं, या कुछ का नाम आप बता सकते हैं जिनको हम पढ़ना चालू करें अभी से, तो अच्छा रहेगा.
First of all, let me mourn over my death. Then I'll answer the question. Welcome. There are a lot of young people on both the sides of the border, in India and in Pakistan, young boys. Some of them are perhaps in their late teens, as young as that. And they are doing great poetry. Actually, when I listen to their poetry on YouTube, I get inspired. They don't need me to inspire them. They are inspired people. This generation is an inspired generation. Chalo bhai.
But Rekhta padhe Rekhta. Rekhta has many poems, and they are translated, and they are in the Hindi lipi, and they are in Roman.
Where are the?
It's really become a movement. So I would suggest कि आप Rekhta जरूर उसको follow करिए. Two more questions. We have to go to another series.
Hi, this is Shayoni. Javed Saab.
Where are you? Acha, okay. Chalo.
Good morning, everybody on the stage. A little nervous, so.
So am I. Don't worry.
Yeah. So, first of all, welcome to our city, and I just wanted to say that yes, I know all ladies and everybody probably the big fan of Javed sir, but Shabana ma'am, there are too many people who are just floored with you as well. I'm very humbled to share my birthday with you. I totally show
With her?
Happy
With
birthday.
her?
18 September.
Oh.
Okay, so my question is to you, Sumantra sir. first of all, I love your diction and pronunciation. It's music to the ears as well. My question is, when you translate, what is your process of that language migration? What I mean to say is, I feel sometimes in certain words in Urdu or in another language, or say in Bengali, the equivalents are not available. For instance, you mentioned tripping on the archel. I just think that, yeah, in Urdu, tripping on the archel, but then it was translated into a scarf, which is not as long as the archel. So I feel that somewhere that tripping, that idea is lost. When we say archel pe
Absolutely.
that, that idea that flows.
Don't humiliate me anymore. Everybody's understood.
Yeah, that picture is. So, do you think sometimes that it
No,
falls
absolutely.
within
I
those
think the
gaps?
big
What is
issue,
your process?
the big issue is the fact that a lot of it is untranslatable because it comes from a context and from centuries of usage as well. Words are not individual things. They have contexts, they have relations like human beings, they have parents, they have friends, and those are different in different languages to start with. The other thing is that very often you get trapped by a wrongness of grammar, or you get trapped by something that is very common in trying to translate, which is to invert usage, which is not done in English. So instead of saying, I'm going there, you'd say, there I will be going. So because you want to rhyme something with something else. Those are the big problems. The problem is how to keep the poem in English still looking, sounding, feeling like a poem. You see, what happens very often, to give you another kind of image, is that when translators translate, very often what they give you is the recipe for the original dish. So they tell you there is so much rhyme, please use a little bit of alliteration, please use. What you need to do is cook a new dish, which has its own smell, but it has to have its own taste, and it has to feel like you're eating something. You're not reading a recipe.
Do you think a new text is born with that translation?
Absolutely, it is born, and whether it is deformed or whether it is a healthy child is luck of the draw very often, and very often depends on what the original was, what the parents were.